Now we still have some snow. It was really cold before. Today is really warm. It's probably about 17 degrees right now, 15 or 17 Celsius. We have been at least negative 22 Celsius just a couple days ago. So we think it's really warm. And to collect it, you have to actually go out and get the buckets and dump the buckets into a bigger place and then carry it over. So they use a tank. We're going up to the tank over here with the tractor. So they would take those, again, the buckets on several trees here, and you would just have to carry them and drive around to all the different ones. Sometimes people still use horses to do this even. Okay, so I brought you back in. I'm going to remind you where you were. Out there's the tractor, and we watched this was how it's coming down. You can see the sap coming in, and then this is sap. So the sap has to come down in its, increase its concentration, so decrease its volume, and it's 40 gallons of sap to 1 gallon of actual maple syrup. Could be 42, could be a little bit less. It depends on the sugar content. So again, it's going to come in here and it's going to be, here's another holding tank. It's going to come down here and it's going to be boiled. Here in Vermont, like how many people do it?
How many, in the entire state?
Yeah.
That's a really good question. I'm just going to take a stab and say maybe 5,000 sugar makers in Vermont, of various sizes to few trees with some buckets in a very traditional way that they do outside versus operations that have as many as 200, 300,000 taps and have highly technical systems.
And how many months do you do this for? How many weeks? How many months?
This is our 10th boil of the season, and it only happens during the time of year when the ground is freezing and thawing. That action encourages the tree to move sugar that's stored in the roots during the wintertime to move it through the tree as it's starting to translocate for springtime. We're getting ready for these are all deciduous trees, so they leaf out again every spring.
And how many trees have you done?
So we do about we call them taps. And taps are the holes that we put in the tree to extract the sap, and we have about 12 or 1,300 of those.
But it's not that many trees, right? Because a lot of yours
some trees will have 2 taps, so you could say on average maybe 900 trees or 800 trees.
And how long does it take you to tap?
We can do it in about a week, in between the middle of the day, not long 8 or 10 or 12-hour days.
And did you do it with snowshoes on, or how bad was the snow this year?
We're evaporating maple sap, which is 98% water, and we're evaporating it to maple sugar. We're cooking it to 217 degrees. We're doing it over a wood fire. We have a timer set so that we fire every 9 minutes, and we're about 21 seconds away from our next fire.
Oh boy.
So that's so this is all wood. This is hemlock pine that's harvested from the farm, and we dry it for a year. Try to get it as dry as possible, which is that helps the boiling process. Gloves.
Okay. Well, perfect timing.
Even
what are you testing for?
Density.
And what does it need to be?
The red line is to fill the top of the shell. Height of it.
And if it's not there, what happens?
It's too thin and you have to put it back in and boil it.
And you take this off at what level?
7 degrees, which is 219 degrees Fahrenheit.
In here, I'm gonna look at it through the window. So we can tell what grade it is.
Very light, isn't it?
So, yeah. So it looks like it's probably amber rich.
And that makes a difference
Because it's marketed as golden delicate, amber rich, or dark robust.
and people pay more for a certain level.
No, not necessarily. It's just that some has more flavor than the lighter has a more delicate flavor. The amber rich is a nice medium, and the robust has more.
How long do you expect to be sugaring this year?
I think that the weather looks good. It's going to freeze at night, thaw in the morning, freeze at night for the next 4 or 5 days, and then it might be over. Which means daffodils will be growing on Jill's lawn.
And is that typical, or most years do you even
I
shut
think it
down?
could be a little bit early this year, and it started later. The season did too. There weren't any early, quote unquote, January thaws.
Yep. And do you sometimes start and then stop and then start again?
Yeah, I mean sometimes you'll boil, and then cold weather will come in and stay freezing for 5, 6 days, and then we'll start, the sap will start running again. So you never know. We really have no idea. It's just all about the weather.
And how many gallons have you made so far?
I think we've made about 125 gallons.
And what do you hope to make in a normal year?
Normal year for this amount of taps, we should make 300 gallons, so we're a little off the mark right now.
So there's hope for this season.
There's hope.
Still going on.
Yeah.
And-
Even if it's a bad season, it's still spring, so you can't complain too much.